Well, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'd like to thank the Mars Society for inviting us and to present our efforts in sending humans to Mars. I've been following Dr. Zubrin's work for a number of years. I was fascinated by his writings. Read The Case for Mars several times, and found that I was interested in Mars, but I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Today was a great day. I, like you, many of you, spent the day listening to presentations from these 10 brilliant teams and the ideas that they were to come up with. And I just wish I had all of them around us in 2013 when we were doing our architecture study and trying to figure out, what is the best way to build a flyby mission to Mars. There were some really great ideas, and I think when we do go to Mars and fly by Mars, we're going to see many of those ideas that we heard today be part of that, and we certainly will give them recognition. Well, let me tell you a little bit about my personal involvement with Mars. When I think about it, it's hard to believe. But 50 years ago from today, I was getting paid to work on Mars. I was
Denisa
in
Tito,
trajectory
pierwszego
design
prywatnego
engineer,
astronauty na świecie.
and at a very young age, I was given the responsibility to design the trajectory and do the operations for the first flyby mission of Mars. So for 50 years, I've been kind of a Mars person, but a flyby person. It's amazing. I have a very long attention span. Well, I ended up working for JPL for about 5 years, and I also had the opportunity to design the orbit mission, first planetary orbiter, which was Mariner 9, which orbited Mars and photographed that. I had the opportunity to do that design as well. But after 5 years and getting paid very little, I decided, what can I do to make some more money? And so I left and I went back to school, studied finance, and decided I would take my engineering talents and apply them to finance. But I never gave up on Mars. And people used to wonder for years why I had panoramic pictures of the surface of Mars. For about 10 years, I had a panorama taken by Viking. And then in the last 20 years, I had a panorama taken by Pathfinder. So I still have that in my office. So I'm really, as much as Robert, a Mars guy still. But about 2 years ago, I said, well, I'm getting older. It's about time to go back to my youth. And what I'm really good at is, mission design and trajectory analysis. And, what would really be a good mission for Mars? I had just read The Case for Mars. And, I knew that going to Mars and landing on Mars was very complicated and very expensive. I was certainly aware from the news that we had an opportunity supposedly to go to Mars with the support of President H.W. Bush, but it was a little expensive, something like $400 million, and was rejected. So is there any way of doing